The southern end of the Flinders Ranges is absolutely stunning. No wonder so many people come from across the world to be able to come to this particular place, the iconic Wilpena Pound. But for us, we like the freedom of a camper trailer and where it can actually get us. It can get us to more places than the average camper. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this particular episode. So come and join us and be a part of the camper trailer lifestyle. Touring with a camper trailer is great fun, but it's the people who you travel with that make it a truly memorable experience. On this adventure, we have an amazing group of travellers. Ben and Brent from BRS are a barrel of laughs, and you can tell they just love getting out here and testing their new Sherpa. John and Tim from Lumberjack have the Allendale back behind the Ranger. These boys are loving it out here, and honestly, why wouldn't you? It's a special place. Just like the BRS boys, you can see that John and Tim really care about their product and want to make sure that it's top notch for their customers. The Davies are towing the Parks 15 this week, and for them it's like being back at home. Tegan and Lee are about to head off on a 10-month lap of the country in their own caravan, so towing the Parks shouldn't be an issue. Now, travelling with kids can be a challenge, but I reckon these guys have it pretty nailed.
I got the eye of the tiger, the fire, dancing to the fire. I am the champion. You're gonna hear me roar.
Great singing, guys. After leaving the pound, there are a few kilometres on the blacktop where you can ramp up the speed. Okay guys, we've been on the tar for a little while now. We're about to turn left and back onto the dirt. Is everyone excited?
Yeah, keen to be back on the dirt.
Yeah, let's get off this blacktop and get dirty.
Get away from these tourists.
Yeah, definitely guys. Look, the scenery's definitely changing. Yeah, I guess the kids are getting a bit of an education in wildlife out in these parts.
Yeah, there's a heap of kangaroo and emu spotting going on. Surprised at how many there are, just to, so close to the roads as well.
It's incredible how much the scenery does change out here in just a short space of time.
You can see here, 1 minute you're looking as far as the eye can see, the next minute you just see rolling hills. It's amazing.
I love all these mountains. Can you take a picture on my iPad, please?
Yeah, well, we can put it onto your iPad. Give me a pocket.
I couldn't agree more with Bodie. What a place. This is stunning country, and it's a pretty amazing drive as well. The Flinders is one of those locations where you can actually find it really difficult to focus on the road because the scenery is just so magic. I reckon that's why there's so many lookouts on the road. If you have the time, make sure you stop, get out, stretch the legs and take it all in. There's so many reasons to come to the Flinders. The four-wheel driving is to absolutely die for. The camping, you're under 1,000 stars, but honestly, I don't think it gets much better than driving over these hills and coming across views just like the one we've got behind us. The scenery here is absolutely amazing. This drive is called the Bunaroo Road, and it cuts between two of the main ranges along the Bunaroo Gorge. This is a drive that every four-wheel driver and off-road camper owner should do. It's not hard four-wheel driving by any means. Sure, it's dusty and at times there are some corrugations, but nothing that a well-prepared four-wheel driving camper can't handle. Tonight Our Camp is a great little spot and it doesn't take the crew long to get set up, especially when everyone gets involved. Nothing beats a good fire and a good camp under a sky of a million stars. Why would you even consider staying in a 5-star hotel when you can enjoy this with all of your mates? A good night at camp and a good night's sleep in a camper trailer is why we bring our home away from home with us on these adventures. Another reason is for the great facilities that make us feel that little bit closer to home. The BRS boys are making use of the Sherpa's shower and cool rear opening kitchen area, and Tegan's getting breakfast ready for the kids on the parks. But before long, it's time to keep moving. These roads are extremely dusty, and we need to keep a big distance between each of the vehicles, which means we need to use a little bit of common sense and enact a bit of convoy etiquette.
So we're just getting the convoy through the creek bed now. Due to the dusty conditions, there was a lot of distance between the cars, so we need to make sure that we're marking the corners in the convoy. That meaning that when you get to the corner, you need to be able to see the vehicle behind you before you take the corner and continue on your way. Just make sure that the convoy stays in formation and no one gets lost out here, because the next intersection could be a couple hundred k's down the road, and you don't want to be losing anyone, do you?
So guys, we're heading through some stunning ranges here. Off to the left, I'm absolutely amazed. But I believe we're actually not too far off maybe finding some fossils. I bet the kids are a bit excited.
Not just the little kids that are excited.
Yay!
Big and little kids, hey? The Flinders Ranges is a place with a long history. Not only is the region littered with Indigenous art and European settlement ruins, but in some regions you can even find history from millions of years ago that's now frozen in time. There are plenty of spots along the way for you to try your luck at finding a few fossils. They are pretty hard to find though, so I'd suggest setting aside an hour or more to be able to search this beautiful area. The kids love it though, and I reckon the bigger kids are having a good time too. The gorge is a good drive and it is absolutely majestic. There's nothing too hard driving wise, but the views, there's something else.
How is the gorge, Timmy?
It's good. Wouldn't want there to be much rain though.
How old is it, Timmy?
Some of the rocks, I think we're up to 540 million years old.
How
So nearly as old as my dad.
We've reduced our tyre pressures to 20 on the front. It's a lot better, I'll tell you that.
This would have been an old riverbed, Bodie. A river would have gone through here, and it was nice and wet.
I love how you can see like all the layers in the rock. Like, it's just like layers of paper, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once you've left the gorge, it's back onto the long, dusty roads again as you make your way out of the ranges and towards the town of Parachilna. Parachilna is home to one of Australia's most iconic pubs, the Prairie Hotel, where you can sample some unique Australian cuisine. For those who are a bit adventurous, this pub is home to the roadkill platter. Yep, that's a meal that includes kangaroo, emu and camel. If you haven't tasted these fairly unique meats before, well, this is a great place to try it.
Kangaroo was good. Lee really liked the camel sausage.
Sausage is the best one, I reckon.
Well, that's a thumbs up from our crew. Don't go away, because later in the show we head to a great little camp near an old mining town called Beltana and settle in for a Flinders sunset. Our little crew has been exploring what I guess you would say is the lesser travelled section of the Flinders Ranges, and we've seen some amazing countryside, spent some time searching for fossils, and tried our taste buds at some unique Aussie tucker. This afternoon we are heading further north on the main highway towards Beltana. Oh, and don't fool yourself into thinking that just because you're on the blacktop the drive will be boring. You just have to look out the window and you'll see plenty of stunning Flinders scenery rolling by. Beltana is a semi-ghost town 540 kilometres north of Adelaide. Beltana is known for continuing to exist long after the reasons for its existence had ceased. The town's history began in the 1870s with the advent of copper mining in the area, construction of the Australian Overland Telegraph Line and the Garn Railroad. The town began to decline in 1941 with the beginning of coal mining at Lee Creek. The fate of the town was sealed by the 1983 realignment of the main road away from the town. The town's adjacent cemetery and railway structures are now part of a designated state heritage area declared in 1987. I love visiting places like this. They really make you think. If you can manage it with the kids and your travelling companions, make sure you take a moment to step away from everyone and just think back to what life would have been like here. Just down the road is Beltana Station, which is a 468,000 acre property. It is a working sheep and cattle station where you can get involved in the action. You can even step back in time at the Woolshed Museum and look at all the old wares and historic photos from the region. Beltana Station has campsites available for all types of travellers. You can organise these ahead of time or just drop into the offices during business hours. Our campsite for the night is our cracker, a nice flat piece of red dirt with a fire ring just calling for a nice big fire. Majestic, magical and unforgettable. To me, that's what the Flinders Ranges is all about. Thousands visit Wapena Pound every year. The beauty of having a camper trailer means we've been able to get off the beaten track, explore and feel so much more from the southern end of the Flinders Ranges. And that, to me, is what the camper trailer lifestyle is all about. Honestly, what more could you ask for? So why don't you come and be a part of the camper trailer lifestyle? Next week on Camper Trailer Lifestyle, we explore the Witchelina track and put these campers through their off-road paces. There's ruins, rocks and one of my favourite outback pubs. Don't miss this one.